This is Umar from the Fight Wire, proudly sponsored by Gold Star Promotions. Well, look, I think a Hamzah Sheeraz stoppage win wasn't out the question tonight, but I think a lot of people I spoke to said 7 or 8 or sort of later rounds. First round, no one expected that. Just talk me through that, Hamzah.
No, listen, all thanks to mate Allah for allowing me to do what I do, and massive thank you to Frank, Andy, Taz, the team, everyone at TNT Sports. Camp went well, Umar. Camp went well. Everything we planned to do, it got done, and that's it. That's what I will have to really say about that performance.
I mean, I did mention to you at the press conference about, you're rangy, long, you can walk him into that jab, and it's exactly what happened. Dropped him.
Yeah, no, exactly that. Listen, my jab is my power shot. My power shot, and I don't really like to range find with it either. So either I'll just catch you with it and just smack you straight down the middle, and that's what I've been doing in my last, I think, 6 or 7 fights now. So, yeah, man, it's slowly progressing. I don't want to get too ahead of myself at the same time. I think my performances speak for themselves, and I just got to keep stepping up opponents now and eventually capture that world title.
That is very dangerous, though, because as you said, most people use that shot as sort of to set things up.
Leverage,
but that's actually a power shot. It's like your overhand right.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly, and I think that's what makes it dangerous. I think that's what kind of people, they think, oh, he's tall, he's lanky, he's just, he won't hit hard, and then bang, it comes out of nowhere, and it kind of shocks them. Look, if you look at me, I don't really look too big or intimidating, do I? So it's definitely, it shocks them for sure.
And as I said to you in the week, Demetrius Andrade, world-class fighter, went the distance with Liam Williams. Chris EUBANK Jr. went distance with Liam Williams. Liam Smith did stop him, but on a cut. So really, Liam hadn't been knocked out or stopped properly, and he's had loads of fights and at the top level. So for you to do that so early on in your career still sends out a massive statement to the whole middleweight division. I'm talking across the world.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's exactly what myself, Ricky, Taz, my dad, intended on doing. We said, listen, you're going to fight like this is a very risky fight because he had everything to gain, kind of thing. And I just had to go out there and put on a statement. That's exactly what I've done.
Just spoke to your promoter, Frank Warren, who said that, he's worked with Ricky Hatton, Naz, Tyson Fury, the lot. I could go on, and he says you're right up there in terms of the fighters he's worked with.
That's a huge compliment. Listen, only the other day, last week, I was watching the Ricky Hatton documentary, and you kind of see the growth they had together, and I think that's what I'm coming into now, and I'm just honoured, man, honoured.
Also, he compared you to Tommy the Hitman Hearns. Not a bad comparison.
I know. I'm honoured. Listen, I'm honoured to even have my name mentioned in the same sentence as his. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully I can keep living up to that expectation and just unify divisions like he did.
Frank Warren did say to me just now he wants to make the fight with Chris EUBANK Jr., but believes he won't have the gonads to do so, in his words. Thoughts? Do you think Chris will take that fight, and do you fancy it?
Listen, I'd fancy it all day long. If he's really wants to take over the division, I know he'll say, oh, there's no money in it and whatnot, but I'm sure Frank will put up the money. It's as simple as that. And it calls for a big fight as well, a big fight. I've done what he couldn't do. And yeah, let's have it, Chris. He ain't won a world title. Do you know what I mean? So let's have it.
Obviously, that fight with Conor Benn, that potential fight, looks like it's fallen through. So he hasn't got a fight scheduled at the moment. Do you believe you stopped Chris EUBANK Jr.?
Yeah, of course. And I mean that respectfully as well. I don't mean that disrespectfully. I just believe I have too much for him, too much in the armour room, too young, too fresh. But let's see what he says.
Don't want to keep you too long. Just 2 more things I want to mention. Nathan Heaney, an easy fight to make. You're both with the same promoter. I'm sure you'd fancy that one as well.
It's a no-brainer. Whether Frank wants to make that happen, I don't know. But I'll have it all day long. Listen, I told you, I'm not one of them fighters. I never have been someone who calls him out. But if you're in the 160 division, I'll fight you.
Lastly, I know His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh is a massive boxing fan and watches all the cards. And he's got a very close relationship with Frank Warren, your promoter. So if he did watch tonight, I'm sure he would have been thoroughly impressed. We know the 5v5 card between Frank and Eddie will take place June the 1st. Depending on the weight classes, if the middleweight class gets chosen, fancy a trip to Saudi Arabia, maybe Amo Williams?
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. That would be like one of my newer goals in boxing already. Ticked off, fighting out in Saudi Arabia on such a great card with such great people involved in boxing as well. So, inshallah it happens.
Do want to shout out some people. We've talked about your promoter, Frank Warren. We've got to mention your trainer, Ricky, behind you there, who's putting all the hard work in LA, which is really starting to pay off. I've got to mention Taz, the man who makes it happen. And
This is the trio.
Well, your manager, Andy Aylen, as well?
Yeah, manager Andy. Listen, they all make it happen. Do you know what I mean? You have the highs and lows of the sport. It is what it is. But ultimately, when it comes down to nights like this, it just all makes it worth it. And I mean, I'm sure Ricky has a lot to say, but what I do in the ring is courtesy of this man here. So.
Hamzah does all that. That's all Hamzah.
Just seems like a pleasure working with this young man.
Yes. No, he is. I tell you what, it makes life so easy. He's dedicated to the sport and he's focused.
Couldn't have gone any better tonight. I don't think you even broke a sweat. So Hamzah Sheeraz, fantastic first round stoppage of Liam Williams and big fights for the rest of 2024.
Inshallah, God willing. Thank you.
Thank you, Hamzah.
Cheers, yeah. Thank you.
Before you dash on, I'm just going to get...